Brian Cashman might have just revealed the truth about what he's looking to do during the trade deadline and the truth behind all of New York's struggles. Welcome to Yankees Digest. We're going to uncover all of this and more on today's episode. I'm Gabby Gordon, and welcome in. Before we begin, if you're among the 68.4% not subscribed to the channel currently, hit that subscribe button right now so that you never miss a beat. Because look, guys, this is getting concerning on many levels, but also getting insane on those same levels. So we have to uncover all of this, and honestly, one video doesn't do it justice. But what exactly am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Brian Cashman addressing the media, and he really came out of the gate pretty strong. It's not usual for Yankees fans to hear when the general manager of the New York Yankees is disgusted, but he basically said it without saying it. He said, quote, "It's been a struggle, obviously. Thankfully, we got out of the gates really strong. Hopefully that cushion will allow us to work through this. Hopefully sooner than later, because it's gone on long enough, and it's been a tough stretch for us." And then he goes on to say, this is a long one, but I'll just kind of summarize it, that he's obviously concerned because that's his job, but they have to stay connected and play together and hope to get back on track and can win. They just need to figure it out and figure out the right pieces to put together. So if you want to pause that, read the whole quote on your own, be my guest. I'm not going to bore you with reading off of the screen, but in essence, Brian Cashman basically said, this is not acceptable for my organization. This is not acceptable for this team, and they need to do better, and maybe doing better comes within the decisions that we will hopefully see within the next few weeks come trade deadline. What's also interesting to note is Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner and all executives were in Tampa watching the Yankees play yesterday. Now, it's not totally out of the ordinary. They were going to be there anyway for some pre-draft preparations, but Cashman said he wanted to go to the game to basically see what's been going on because his squad has been struggling. So kind of wanted to witness it in person. And look, this is concerning because this is not new for New York by any means. This summer swoon, if you want to call it, is not just an isolated incident for 2024. If I take you back, maybe give you a little bit of PTSD looking back at it, but 2022, quite arguably the greatest start we've ever seen the Yankees jump out to, in 61-23 before they literally just limped into the playoffs with a 38-40 record after that point. Judge obviously was the team in his pursuit of the single-season home run mark. Obviously, that record is now his, and he's still chasing after it this year. That's a separate story. And then in 2023, just a season ago, they started 36-25, and then they finished after that point 46-55. They missed the postseason, right? This is not new for us to watch. And I know, I believe on the last video where there was a game recap, I believe it was mentioned that Yankees fans kind of expect this downfall, but it's still not okay. When you have a roster that you have that can start off so strong, honestly, aside from a few injuries, what changes? It's the management perspective, and that has to get better. It has to get better, and Brian Cashman has to look to make changes. Now, what was also asked in Brian Cashman's interview with the media was how he perceives Aaron Boone's performance. And that is a question the Yankees fans have had for a very long time, is what's the deal with Aaron Boone? He's a very positive, uplifting guy. He's a very hands-off type of manager where he kind of lets his players be themselves in a way and will always have their back. And sometimes that has just made us so angry as fans because sometimes you just want to hear a manager get mad, and Boone is not really the guy to get mad. Now, Cashman said, and I don't have this quote exactly for you, but he said something along the lines of, Boone is working with what he's got, and he's doing a fine job. Now, how much of that was just for the media's eye? Well, we don't know, of course. We don't know what Cashman really thinks about the situation with his manager behind the scenes. But what I can tell you is fans ain't really happy. And this is why. July 7th, 2024, just a couple days ago, folks, after their 6-16 stretch, obviously now that is a bit different, but not much better, he said, quote, "It feels terrible, but it's all right there in front of us. This is not the time to feel sorry for yourself. It's the time to try and get guys going. Guess what, Mr. Boone? You said that way too many times before, and it is not a magic word anymore. It's not a magic sentence, and it doesn't change anything. In 2023, once again, flashing you back to the trend here of insanity, the Yankees were 11 games above 500, and then, of course, they were folded completely, broken down, and what does Boone say? It's all right there in front of us. 2022, same story. After their historic start, turned into a 38-40 finish. What did Boone say? It's all right there in front of us. Was it all right there in front of us? Is it in front of us right now? Because I can pretty much say with full confidence in my mind, and I'm no Yankees manager. I never claimed to be. And look, Boone was the qualified guy for the job, and good for him on getting that spot, and he's had his great moments with the Yankees and even being in the Yankees organization himself many years ago in pinstripes. But is it really right in front of us? Full confidence to me says this is not a winning team, even when you have all your guys at your best. It's not a winning team because what is DJ LeMahieu's best? What's Gleyber Torres and his best? What's Volpe's best anymore? You need offense, you need help, you need it now. And just going based off of that notion, we're taking a look at the lineup here that was put out last night against the Rays in Tampa, and you're just looking at this list here, and granted there's injuries. Granted you would have expected Jason Dominguez to hopefully be in this lineup by now. Granted Rizzo's out, Stanton's out. Right? You had John Birdie, who was a great hitter. He's out right now as well. So granted, there's struggles, but I'm still looking at this, and I'm like, why is Verdugo in the cleanup spot? Why is he batting fourth with a 245 average? Like, yeah, sure, he went 1 for 3, but not really when it mattered much. With runners in scoring position, the Yankees are the same old Yankees. Ben Rice is really the only guy that has shown any spark as of late. And you can't rely on a rookie who's only been in it for a couple weeks, right? He hasn't even been in the league for a month yet. Soto's been struggling a little bit at the plate, and everybody is okay to have a struggle once in a while, but you can't rely on them constantly 24/7. That's not how a team's going to win. If you rely on Judge and Soto to be winning these games for you, like they have pretty much been, and unfortunately now it's not even enough to win. Like, what are we doing? I don't understand why LeMahieu continues to start. Look, I know he went 2 for 4. He's showing some positive signs, but I still do believe in the notion that, he's not the player he used to be, and he's probably never going to get back to that. Volpe's just been horrendous, absolutely horrendous, since taking the leadoff spot. Torres got a nice RBI hit last night, but it's still not consistent. This lineup is subpar, and this lineup is not going to take you to a World Series. So no, Aaron Boone, no, it is not right in front of us. And what also is not in front of us is the Yankees pitching, and that seems to probably be the biggest problem that we are seeing right now. This was Carlos Rodon in his last 7, 15, and 30 games. This guy had a great contract, and he has fallen short of that contract in every single aspect. So that puts all on Brian Cashman at this point as well. Poor decisions, poor signings, a 7.50 ERA in the last 7 games that Carlos Rodon has played. He's won 2 of them and lost 5. He's got 43 strikeouts, let up 44 hits, and 30 earned runs. That is not okay. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. And I come off here as an angry Yankee fan, and you know what? I hope that I can speak and represent all those watching right now who feel the exact same way. Because, once again, and this quote is not just for sports, it's for life, and it is the truest thing I've ever heard. The definition of doing insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, I don't know if I'm just really critical, but I'm pretty sure the Yankees have done that for the last decade of their baseball, and you're not getting a different result anymore. So at this point, if this doesn't show you, Brian Cashman, meaning you, Brian Cashman, if this doesn't show Brian Cashman that there has to be a change, and I don't even know what that change consists of anymore. Sure, there's trade rumors. Sure, there's guys that the Yankees are targeting, and rightfully so, guys that could really turn things around. But what are you targeting when you don't have offense and your pitching's awful right now? You're pretty much targeting an entire new scheme here, and that's just not something that makes sense to me when a team starts off so hot, looking like they are just going to clinch the AL East like that, and then they just completely fall off the mark. I mean, Boston's not too far out of second place anymore. They just continue to fall. It's an absolute free fall of epic proportions, and it is disgusting to watch. Not even on the table that things could get better. When you're sitting there and the Yankees are down 3-1 and you pretty much know the game's already over, that's rough. Breaking news. Breaking news in the middle of this video. The New York Yankees lineup card was posted for tonight, and Alex Verdugo is leading off when Ben Rice is batting cleanup. I will leave you with that. More on the next video. My name's Gabby Gordon. You've been watching Yankees Digest. I'll catch you next time. Stay in there, Yankees fans. Stay strong.